Thanks, listeners, for joining us for today's Elko Live here on KELK. It is Tuesday, and it's the day that we set aside. We usually talk about city news on Tuesdays, but our city manager, Jan Baum, has generously contributed today's time to another important partner and an essential piece of our local economy, our source of entertainment, and has been for decades now, the Elko Convention and Visitors Authority. So we're pleased to feature in studio today. We have Annette Kerr, who is the executive director of the ECVA, which is the official state organization and agency, and then Michelle Cromwell, who is heading up marketing and advertising as the manager. There's a lot going on, ladies, and it's always a pleasure to sit across from you. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Lori. It's good to see you again, and we do appreciate you giving us some time to talk a little bit about our events for the next couple months.
Yep, ECVA, the E-Center. It is the official Elko Event Center.
It is, and part of our rebranding will be bringing out more of that. Where we are the Elko Event Center, featuring meetings, events, and conventions. So it's just part of that time. We'll be 50 years old next year, and so the timing is perfect to show our rebranding. So it'll be coming up shortly.
That does not seem possible. 50 years old, yes. A big, beautiful facility, again, supported by local contributions and tax dollars. And we're going to talk more about that, too, in today's program, because you found yourself in a unique position as coming into this job not that long ago, Annette, but that a lot of things have happened since. There was a payment of about, well, I think initially it was about $10 million, right? And you managed to shave it down to $6 million, a balloon payment?
Correct. The original bill came in at $12 million. The convention center gave $3 million, so it was around a little $9 million, but with interest, et cetera. It's just about $10 million when I got here about 2.5 years ago.
And that is a balloon payment on the new Elko Conference Center. A few things happened, and we won't belabor the point, but obviously COVID hard hit any entity that was in the business of conducting conventions or entertainment or special events. That was simply sidelined for a good 2 years, and so that affected the bottom line.
It completely shut down, and then it also affected our tax dollars, our tax base through room taxes, and so hotels being shut down as well. So that tax base wasn't coming in.
Something that's interesting is that the ECVA did not qualify for COVID relief money. Is that right, Annette?
That's my understanding. However, the city did provide a little over $500,000, but it was through the city grant. So any ARPA funds we did not qualify for, which was very interesting, the fact that we're a government agency.
Yeah, it was unusual, and that the county did contribute to horse racing and the Elko County Fair, and there were some other, special interests. But and it might have simply been an oversight at the time. I don't believe you were at the helm, Annette, and I think you would have been front in line if you were able to be.
That's correct. I didn't start until June of 2022, but I was able to help with the association getting some of those funds as well.
That's right, Spring Creek Association. So on to new things, and you were able to convince, and I don't think it was a tough job because it was such a good presentation, Annette, the Elko County Commissioners to help alleviate some of that financial burden for the ECVA.
Yes, we approached them in May of this year to ask them for about $3 million at a loan. Don't just give it to us, we will pay you back. And so that was in April, actually, and then we went in front of the Budget Committee, and the Budget Committee agreed, and then we went back in front of the Commission a couple weeks ago, or their last meeting, and they agreed to give us a loan for $3 million at a low interest rate of 1%. So right now we're in the process of getting that interlocal agreement ready, and then we'll hopefully get back on the November 6th agenda for the final.
This was really important to do because the convention center does have some other looming expenses that come with a 50-year-old facility.
We do. We have a lot of things that we're trying to work on. We're going to do the rebranding, but there's some deferred maintenance because of COVID. We were shut down, so we do have some heating and air conditioning issues that we have to maintain and take care of. We're working on upgrading our theater. We're getting a new movie screen in there. We've got new lights in there. We've got new house lights will be in probably in the next 4 weeks. And then we'll be looking at getting new seating in there. We also have just different things that need to be maintained and brought up to speed.
So that's all good news, and you do need to go back before the Elko County Commission, correct?
Correct. On November 6th, we're hoping that we'll be able to be on the agenda and then have the interlocal agreement ready for signature for the commission.
All right. So again, the Elko County Commission did approve the $3 million loan, and that does leave the convention center in the position to totally refinance that outstanding balance, right?
Correct. We were going to have to pay about $6.5 million in March of 2026. And so moving forward, trying to get this done now, because we do have to go out and bond appropriately. We have to get the Department of Taxation to sign off on us, allowing us to go out to bond for the other half. And so, or a little over a half. We do have some money saved up to pay as well, but the way it works is we were paying our facility, paying off the loan, but we were also renting the facility back from the company that we were paying. So that kind of became a wash with based on any of the prepayment penalties for that 1 year. So we felt it best to get out from underneath that leaseback agreement.
All right, Annette. And again, this was all done by a previous administration, along with previous board members. How many years ago has it been?
Actually, in 2016 is when they did it, so 8 years ago.
All right, 8 years ago. And again, with the goal, the intention was to accomplish that Elko Conference Center, which is very well used, and it was a much-needed facility, but it's just that probably in hindsight, not the best financing option that could have been chosen.
It was a unique financing option. So by being a leaseback, it's highly unusual for a government agency to do that. So that's why we're making sure we did a resolution in a public hearing on the 8th of October. That resolution has gone along with other documents back to the state Department of Taxation to get their approval to go out for bonding.
All right. So anything else on the financing end?
Just want to let people know that we're not raising taxes in any way to bond this out. It's under $5 million, and so we can go out for conventional financing for this, so there won't be any increase in taxes.
You know, something else was pointed out during the county meeting, Annette, in that the ECVA is unique, that you are part of this state organization. I don't believe you get federal dollars, but certainly maybe some state money, but that the share of local room tax money that you get is very small compared to other.
Yes, so we are created by an RS statute, and so there are other convention and visitors authorities throughout the state. Most counties have one, but we are the only one that does not receive 100% of the room tax. Now, I will clarify that some of those agencies that do collect the 100% will then dole them back out to other agencies as well. So the city does that for us, but we only get 6%.
All right. And the Elko Convention and Visitors Authority does have an independent board of directors. There are 2 liaisons that represent both city and county, right?
Correct.
Okay.
We have 1 representative from the city and 1 representative from the county. We have 1 representative from outside the city limits, and then 2 that are voted in. Well, the 3 people, 1 outside the county, or 1 outside the city limits, and 2 inside. So if you're interested, we may have an opening coming up if Miss Marissa Lostra does get voted in.
That's right, because she has been, she is a candidate for Elko City Council, and by all early indications, again, it seems her prospects are pretty good. She has a lot of involvement. I think she was a city planning commissioner before that.
I'm not sure about that, but I know that she's very involved in our community.
Yes, so a lot of name recognition. So that is interesting. And speaking of governance, you do have other committees or subcommittees, if you will?
We do have what we call our marketing lodging committee, which consists of 7 different individuals from around the community, including someone from the lodging industry, somebody from Downtown Business Association, the chamber, just different. We went to be diversified because we're trying to make sure that we include and get the input from everyone in the community.
And you still do have a rapport with the lodging community. We've seen that community changed quite a bit, though, haven't we?
Definitely. We combined them because we weren't getting the kind of buy-in from both having 2 committees, so that's why we combined them to a marketing lodging committee.
All right. And those room taxes remain a very important element of financing?
They do. That's one of our major sources, and that helps us keep our rates low. We're very competitive, if not the lowest, in town in order to rent rooms and facilities. But if without those taxes, then we would not be able to keep those rates at where they're at.
Annette Kerr is our guest today. She's the executive director of the Elko Convention and Visitors Authority. And thanks, Annette, too, for your work on the Flight Alliance of Northeast Nevada. You have an extensive background in that, and you're a big help going forward.
Yes. At one time, I was the CEO of Casino Express Airlines, as well as the CEO for the Red Lion when we brought in those junkets and those gaming flights.
Mm-hmm. And that's still a work in progress, right, to enhance our local commercial air service.
It is. The FAN, it's a great organization. I'm proud to be a part of it. I really wanted to make sure that we continue to see that resource here for our community, not just for the fact that without it, I mean, it's hard to, we're DMO, which is called Destination Marketing Organization, without having the ability to bring people here. What are we marketing then? We want people to come and visit because that's an economic impact, and we want them to be able to get here besides having to drive 3 or 4 hours to get here. So the airline is crucial to our economic impact, but it's also got another side of the coin, and that is for our locals. We want to be able to have air service. We want to be able to have, for our locals and our communities, we want to be able to have air service so that we have, in case emergencies happen, where we need to have flight for life, things like that. We need to have this facility in the airline.
Well, and not to put you in the middle of this, there's a lot of emotion over a zoning prospect for the Ruby Mountains, but we're building an event center, a huge facility, and being in the business that you are, I guess that would enhance the prospects of maybe more reliable flight service. But then what would a ski resort or a ski area that's open to the public, what might that do without taking sides on the issue? If there's a way to do that, it's just...
I don't have a lot of background or knowledge of what's going on there. I am a resident of Spring Creek, so it does involve me in a sense from a personal where I live. But I would like to know all of the details before I would jump into that. We live here for a reason, for our quality of life. It's nice to have the visitors come and visit and spend their money in our community, but we are here for our schools and our quality of life. So there's good sides and bad sides to both, I think.
Yeah, and just to let listeners know, I just pulled up the most recent Planning Commission agenda, and the Ruby Mountain rezone issue that was to be discussed in public hearing tomorrow night has been tabled until November 21st. So that's the official. I was waiting for Corey Rice to maybe call me back. He's the county planner, just to give us some more insight. But since that is a local issue, it's a pretty big deal right now, and I'm hoping to talk to John Kerr more about it on the radio tomorrow. But thank you, Annette, for weighing in, because obviously it's still very, very early in this process. So, yes.
Yeah, it definitely is. There's so many unanswered questions yet to be brought out, and I hope that people will take the time to educate themselves about what's happening.
That's always good advice. Thanks, Annette. So with that in mind, we're going to transition over and talk to Michelle, but I want to make sure we are getting to all your topics today as the Executive Director of the ECVA. I know there are some events that are near and dear to you and the staff that you're working on.
Yeah, so this week is obviously a busy week. I just want to remind everybody we have the Candidates Forum produced by the Chamber, but it will be held at the Convention Center. And that will be at 5:30 is the meet and greet. That's tomorrow night, Wednesday at 5:30. It's the Candidates Forum. Again, this is something that the Chamber puts on, and we're very proud to partner with them on it. And then that's at 5:30, and then the forum actually starts at 6. But then on Friday, something that's very dear to my heart for two reasons is one is that this is a concert called Hope and Harmony. It's a free concert Friday night. It is a treble piano trio. So we have a pianist, a cellist, and a violinist. And the reason it's so special to me is, as I said, two reasons. One is that it's free to public. It's going to be a donation to help bring awareness to Alzheimer's and dementia, as well as suicide prevention. My mother passed away from Alzheimer's. She had both, actually, Alzheimer's and dementia. A lot of people don't know that there are two different types. And but when I would play music for her, her memory seemed to be responding. So it's a great opportunity to bring out someone that you love, someone that you would like to just give them a little bit back of their memories and their life at that time. So we're asking the local people and the community to come out and listen to this trio and bring someone that you know that may have a little bit of dementia or Alzheimer's, or if you just want to come and listen. It's definitely something that you would be surprised at their reactions. Additionally, we're looking at the suicide prevention. So both of these charities, again, that we're paying for bring the group in, but we're not taking any funds from that group. All of the monies that are donated will be going back to bring to these two charities, the Alzheimer's and also Zero Suicides Prevention. And they'll talk a little bit about that. But we've had close members of our, if you will, our work teams who's had experiences with this, with the suicide. And so we just want to make sure that people understand that we want to help. We're here for the community, and we want to help those people out there that might be thinking or not happy, and especially going into the holiday season, it gets to be a little rougher too. So we hope you'll come out and join us. The doors open at 6:30. It's at the theater, and then they'll get started at 7, but it's free to the public. If you don't have to donate. We'd love to have you come and donate. We're working on a little a way to donate, whether it be cash that way or a QR code, and you can just donate online anonymously or whatever. But it doesn't go to the convention center. It goes to these two charities. And again, it's something that I think if you even just enjoy that type of music, just something different.
The Trebell Trio, and it's beautiful harmonies. It's a piano trio, but I see the women that are featured, they have some other instruments, a violin and then the upright bass, and I'm sure it's lovely. And just the whole intent and thought behind that's really meaningful for the community, Annette.
If you really want to see someone's face light up, bring them to this concert and just enjoy being with them.
That's, of course, to benefit Alzheimer's awareness, dementia-friendly Nevada's among the sponsors, and the Zero Suicides of Elko County. So thanks, Annette, for telling us about that this coming Friday, October 18th.
Yes, we'd love to have you come out. So then we're also moving into end of October pretty quick here, and then into November. Obviously, we have voting going on. It'll be pre-voting or early voting, Early voting will start on this Saturday. It's in the convention center, and it runs through Saturday. They're closed on Sunday, and then they'll reopen again the following week. But it is here because it is a presidential election, and this isn't a primary, this is the general, so you want to come to the convention center.
Okay, so that will be all the local precincts reporting there, right?
I think they can vote there, or they can vote in their local precincts, like at the schools, and we have a list of where you can go.
Perfect. Okay. You can always check your registration. Remember, you can register to vote up to the day of the election, so don't sit this one out. A lot of important reasons to do that. So the Trebell Piano Trio Friday, the Veterans Day Parade, that's coming up.
Yeah, so November 11th, which is a Monday, is Veterans Day. We would like to just remind everybody, if you'd like to get into the parade, the county is putting this on and sponsoring it, and we're so grateful that they've taken this over. But you can, you want to help be in the parade, or if you want to just view the parade, Monday, November 11th. The parade begins at 11 o'clock, so 11, and they'll take the traditional parade route. And but if you want to be in there, you can go online at the county's website, and they have the form there, or you can print it off, or go on into the county's offices and fill in a form. Check-in and lineup begins at the Crystal Theater at 10. There's no parade fees. If you want to do a float, or if you want to walk in the parade, or even if you want to walk your proud dog down there, you can do that as well. Candy is allowed, and last-minute entries are always welcome as well. So you can go to elkocountynv.net and look up for the Veterans Parade. But we need to really honor these people. My son is in the Air Force, and he's on his 4th deployment. And at this time, it's not just because of that, but I've always been proud. I mean, look at Charlie Myers and some of these others. These gentlemen are just, and ladies, should be honored, and we should be welcoming them home. So come out on Monday, November 11th, and show your support for our veterans that have made our freedom so important and have given up so much for that.
It's a wonderful opportunity to honor those who serve. The Veterans Day Parade, hosted by Elko County, again, 11/11 at 11 in downtown Elko. So that's
exactly
very convenient. The entry form is online at elkocountynv.net. And do fill out the entry form, because that description of your entry is so important, because they have judges, and then the announcer knows what to say about the entry. And just to give that full presentation, it just takes a couple of minutes to fill it out.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Annette, thank you. Those are wonderful reminders of ways that the Elko Convention and Visitors Authority is giving back, contributing to our community to make this a better place to live. Well, with that in mind, we get to talk about some fun, festive holiday events coming up. Thanks, Annette. We'll let you kind of sit quietly, take a break. So, Annette Kerr, and then we are switching over to Michelle Cromwell, Marketing and Advertising Manager. Great to see you back, and today you're not in costume.
Nope, not Miss Frizzle today.
What fun. Just want to compliment you and the staff and a beautiful PopCon. All I can see is it growing more and more every year.
Absolutely. I'm glad to hear that. We have a lot of fun putting it together, and we just love the visitors and the communities coming to see it, and the children and families. It's a lot of fun.
The PopCon participants themselves said they really appreciate this event because it is on a different, smaller scale. There's tons more accessibility and just the whole festive vibe that's going on. People feel appreciated at Elko's PopCon.
They do. And it was really neat this year. The celebrities were very in awe with our community and how welcoming they were, how polite our children were. So it was really neat to hear that.
Yep. So onward and upward for Elko PopCon. And speaking of committees, ECVA really doesn't do anything without public input, Michelle. So I know that the group's probably on a little break now, but you have a lot of people working behind the scenes to make this happen.
We do. We have a committee of community members that are involved in these kind of things and do these kind of things that help us bring it alive with their ideas and going forward contacts and information and things like that.
Excellent. So let's talk about the Festival of Trees. This is the beloved event that benefits charity partners, but really everybody gets to feel the love with this one.
It does. It's so neat. The conference center turns into a winter wonderland with all the trees. This year, we will be celebrating 34 years of the Festival of Trees. This year, the theme is Christmas traditions, and we have received 20 charity partner applications. I think it's probably the highest amount of charity partner applications we received. And they will go the applications will go before the Board of Governors next Tuesday. They will make that hard decision of choosing what charity partners that will be receiving the funding from the Festival of Trees. So that's going to be interesting. That's a hard job for them.
Yeah, it is. Even the smallest contributions make a big difference to these nonprofit organizations, but 20 partner hopefuls, that will be difficult. But the good news is, this festival is bringing in tens of thousands of dollars to be divided.
Absolutely. Last year we raised $44,120. That was divided among the charity partners.
And the way it works is the community, businesses, families, civic groups donate these holiday decorations that are then auctioned off?
They do, yes. So last year we had 150 items that were donated between trees. We had wreaths, stockings, table activity scenes. It was really neat to see how many, the number of items, and families and businesses and schools even came in and decorated their trees and then watched them get bid on.
And it's nice too because it can introduce some of these charity partners to the community because they attend as well.
They do. So we ask that each charity partner will have a table, and they also bring a tree that they can decorate as well that gets auctioned off. So then, yes, they set up a table with information on what they do for the community and what they're here for, and yes, they get themselves out there in the community.
All right. So we do know the deadline has passed to contribute an application as a charity partner, but pretty soon people are going to start on the decorating part, right?
Oh, yeah. It's exciting. November 1st, that will open online at exploreelko.com. You can go and you can register your tree, stocking, whatever item you're going to contribute, and then you'll get a confirmation email. With that being said, after that, setup is December 2nd and 3rd, and then it opens up to the public December 4th.
Wow, December 4th through, it's like
the
5
7th.
days? The 7th. Okay, 4th
Yep.
through the 7th. And sometimes you have special events that go on, right? I'm sure you're working on those right now.
We do. Santa and Mrs. Claus might be making an appearance again. They actually will. They will be here
They
on...
wouldn't miss Elko's Festival of Trees.
No, they enjoyed it so much last year and had so much fun with the children and the families and everything. They said they would come back again this year. They will be walking around on Friday, December 6th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday, December 7th from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. No cost. Come and take a picture with them and use your phone and selfies or whatever you like.
And Michelle, this event, for all of its 34 years, it has been open to the public free of charge.
Yes, it is.
Wow, what a great gift.
Yes, it's neat. It's neat to see families come in, businesses come in, and then actually the library. They come in, and the library is excited that they're going to do kindergarten story time again. It will be held on Wednesday, December 4th, and the 5th. You can contact Casey Carroll at now it's the library to schedule a time slot for the story time.
Oh, fun. What a great partner, again, with the Festival of Trees. And this does, speaking of partnering, collaborate with the annual Senior Center Christmas Bazaar. Michelle, it's just going to be so festive now it's at the conference center itself, right?
It is at the conference center. And then I just also wanted to mention that the Elko High School String Orchestra will be there on Saturday, December 7th from 11 a.m. to noon. So we'll have that going on, and then they can go next door in the convention center where the Christmas Bazaar will be held by the senior center.
Oh, all that festivity. You can do little shopping, enjoy beautiful music, and really celebrate the spirit of the season with this beloved event. It's our very own Festival of Trees, and of course the Senior Center's Christmas Bazaar going on that same weekend. Well, that's great, Michelle. Thank you. We're all going to need a little healing and some heartfelt warmth going into this new season, I think, together. So.
I think it's going to be a little cold.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be a wonderful opportunity. Anything else that you're working on in particular, Michelle, that you want to make sure people are aware of before I switch back over to Annette to kind of wrap things up?
Sure, yeah. I also wanted to mention that this year at the Festival of Trees, we will have our 2025 events calendar available. So last year we didn't get it quite done in time and ready for the Festival of Trees, but this year we are on it, and it will be available at the Festival of Trees. So come by, pick them up. They make great, Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, whatever, and has a list. Each month has different events that are happening throughout the community.
I know I always have mine here, so I'm a proud promoter of. And what is so beautiful, it has the local events. So you want to, those events have to be submitted well in advance. But you have these gorgeous photographs from right here at home, and they're taken by mostly amateur photographers.
Yes, every single photo in the 2024 calendar was submitted last year. So that's neat. And so then this year we just ended ours. And so staff members are going to go through. We had 320 something photos submitted this year. We used our new online platform to upload the photos. I think that helped, and there are some gorgeous photos.
Oh, there really are. Yeah. And from a variety, you'll recognize some names, and then others you might say, oh, what a beautiful photograph. There's a new person. Maybe they were just passing through and enjoyed something spectacular about the landscape here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wonderful, Michelle. The photographs reflect the landscape, the beautiful outdoors, or maybe even special events. I think this year you called for maybe some more people photos, right? Or
Yes, we did. We did. And so we tried to ask for, because a lot of times they do the scenery and the animals and things like that. So we got a few events. And then next year, what we're going to do is break it up into 4 different categories. Thank you.
Yeah.
4 different categories. And so that we can ask just for events. Because each month, the different events that happen, I'd like to add photos from those events on those calendar. Or
great
that
idea.
Month.
Oh, wonderful. So look forward to getting those calendars. Again, they're free. Distribute them to family. They make great gifts, and they help promote our community. And then I know there's a movie night, but that's coming up too?
Yes, December 13th will be our 3rd annual family movie night. It's free and open to the public. This year we are going to show Despicable Me 4. So with that, it's December 13th. Doors open at 5:30. The movie will start at 6. Again, it's free to the public. We will have popcorn, cookies, hot chocolate, and some water. And so bring your family, pajamas, and blankets, and come enjoy the movie.
It'll be on the big, big screen.
Yes, it will.
And you might have a new screen by then, Annette?
We're hoping.
Okay, that's really cool. Well, thanks, you guys. What a fun season that you have planned for us. You're taking care of business, Annette. I know you've got an agenda you'll be posting tomorrow. Anything that jumps out on the agenda that you think the community might want to weigh in on or look forward to?
Well, we'll be discussing quite a different few things. This is our normal one where we talk about where the board looks at all of the charity partner applications, and it's like Michelle said, it's very, very difficult because every charity is worth it, and so they try to narrow it down to maybe 4, possibly 5. So that's going to be the big part of the meeting. We'll also be discussing how much cash that we have available to help with our refinance costs. As everyone knows, when you refinance, there are costs associated with that. So we'll be discussing that as well. But the big push and the big ideas here are the big moments are going to be the charity partner decisions.
All right. And that's for the ECVA's meeting, which is what day and time?
It's going to be October 22nd at 8:30 in the Cedar Room.
All right. And of course, the community is welcome. But you have a lot of trust, and the community trusts what you guys do, obviously.
They do, but I would like a shout out to my team because we've usually had about 7, maybe 10, but this year's 20 charity partners. So getting the word out is all dedicated to my team because they wanted to make sure that all charities knew that this is an available option for them.
Yeah, it has been tough every year, I think. And what has been nice is to see that when these charity partners come together, they actually find ways to support each other because they listen to what the needs are, and then they say, oh, maybe we can help with this. I mean, there's just a lot of collaboration and care. It's not the competitiveness that you might expect.
Exactly. And the board does take into consideration how many people will it help. I mean, every charity got anywhere from, for the last 2 years, anywhere from $8,000 to about $11,000, and that goes a long way when you're a charity.
Yep, it does, especially in the Elko community. Well, Annette, thank you so much for bringing your great team today, representing your team anyway, Michelle, and you have a very small staff, and looking forward to a great season ahead.
Well, Lori, thank you again, too, for having us on there, and if anyone ever has any questions, you can either call us or go online to exploreelko.com.
It's a great website and recommend it to friends. Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today. Annette Kerr is Executive Director of the Elko Convention and Visitors Authority. Michelle Cromwell is Marketing and Advertising Manager for the ECVA.